Pivot table is probably the most useful tool in Excel for the business world. Let's say you're looking for a job and you tell them you know Excel. They're going to ask you, do you know pivot table? Other tools that you should also know will be more like lookup functions, VLOOKUP for instance. If you know VBA, that's Visual Basic, and macros, that's the best. But anyway, those will be later discussions. This one is on pivot table. So let's start. So here, for instance, is a table, a data table. It has many rows, maybe thousands of rows, and maybe dozens of columns. By itself, it doesn't do much good to us. We need to organize it, summarize it. Or in short, this is what we want. In this case, for instance, we have here groups we sell and stores we've sold to, quantities. So in 2019, we sold these many total items, these many cereals, these many fruits, and cereal sell across the thing was 7158, etc. Then we have a grand total. Ashley's bought so many quantities, Best Food bought so many quantities, and so on and so forth. These are total quantities. So you could have all kinds of these tables that you can use to analyze it. Pivot table makes it happen. So let's now go to our Excel file where we start doing things. So here is our data file. And if you see, we got lots and lots of records here. Okay. So we need to organize them, summarize them, get information from here. So first thing we do is click anywhere in the table and go to Insert and then Pivot Table. That's simple. It asks you want to do on this worksheet or new worksheet. We are going to go to new worksheet because this way we'll have more room. We don't need this any more information, by the way. We're done with it. Excel will use it. So we can just go to new worksheet and OK. And it creates a new worksheet for us. So what we see here is this is our pivot table area and these are the fields we have it. So we're going to interest in, let's say sales right now. We'll do lots of changes. Let's say sales here, right there, and sum of sales. This is what absolute total dollar amount is this much for the whole thing. Okay. You want to break it down by the group items we sell. So group comes down here and cereal, fruit, ice cream, milk, etc. Now suppose we want to do by stores. Okay. Columns. Stores come there. And with there we are. Ashley's, this was sold. Best Foods, and we got it. So now we know exactly how many cereals we sold to each store and how many we sold. This is by the dollar amount. But now suppose you want to do, let's say, years. Okay. So I can just simply put the date portion out here on top of it right now. We'll see what happens. It has given us all kinds of things, right? There's too much information right now. I don't really need it. I just want to go by year. So I can simply go there, remove the field and remove date and remove it. And now we are 2019, our summary, 2020, 2021. Okay. But suppose we want to actually know cereal by 3 years, fruits by 3 years. So all I have to do really is bring this one from there to there. Now look what has happened. Cereals 2019, 2021, fruits, ice cream, milk. This is how simple it is. Okay. So let's remove this portion right now. Remove field. Now suppose you want to also do, let's say, cities. Okay. So I can do cities like bring it down. Depends on what I want to do. Okay. Let's suppose bring the location here. And there we are. Allen, Colony, Coppell, Dallas, Flower Mound. So in each city, for each group of product we have, how we sold. Or we can do the other way around. Let's just bring it down here, there. Now, Allen, Colony, Coppell, Dallas, etc. then fruits, ice cream, depends on us what you want to really do. So I'm going to remove this one from there. Remove field. Okay. Let's suppose you're interested in the average quantity sold. Okay. Average dollar amount sold. So all I have to do really here is come here and value field settings and look the choices I have. I can just simply go average. They're the averages. Or we can do, let's say, the max and each place. There, the max. It's up to us really. So let's just go back to the sum there. But suppose instead of this sales, I want to really know the quantities, units. So I can remove this from there, remove it, and put the units here now. Units sold. Okay. Now we can also do one thing, which is, let's now go with the product. Instead of the group, we just go with the product. So I can bring the product here. And within each group, this is what we sold. Bran, resin, Vitamor, apples, etc. and etc. So that part there, yeah. Suppose you want to put some filters. Okay. Let's want to put the location filter. So location, we can bring a filter in the filter section. There we are. There comes the location. And here, for instance, I can just simply go and say that, okay, give me, let's say, Plano. Only Plano I want. That's only Plano. Or suppose Frisco. That's Frisco. Okay. Or I can suppose choose multiple locations. Multiple locations. Let's say choose Frisco, McKinney, and Plano. And Coppell. There we are. For these ones there. So this is it. Okay. Now let me remove this filter from here. Remove the field. Okay. And leave it here. And also let's suppose we remove the product from here for now. So I remove the product from there. I can put this is slicers here. Insert slicer. And click on it. And let's suppose I want to choose, let's say I want to choose, suppose, location and store and group. I mean, you can choose anything. There we are. Now see what happens, magic. There we are. Now I can only choose, suppose, Ashley's. Click on it. Ashley's left, everybody else is gone. How about Food City? That's Food City. Or I can choose multiple. Food City and suppose Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle. Okay. But I only want to choose, suppose, so what happens is that when I chose those two, there's only cities they are in. There's nobody here in that part. Okay. So I can now suppose choose only fruits. Click on the fruit. It's only fruits. Milk. And I can remove the filters, all filters, clear the filters. So really it's a very nice presentation. You're sitting in your meeting room and doing all of this, playing around with it. How about Frisco sales? That's a Frisco sales. Colony sales. Fruit sales. And remove the filters. And let's suppose now what we do is come here and instead of the group, let's suppose we put remove field and we're going to put, suppose now, the product directly. The product. Here are the products. And let's remove all these ones now. We can remove all these things. Now if I go click on here somewhere there, I can go to pivot table analyze right there. If I click on that one and look here, what we see is pivot chart. Click on that, and there's your graph. Pretty crowded, but that's the graph you have. Okay, and we can choose, suppose instead of that, we can choose, let's make it lines, the lines of each one. So what we sold and how we sold, all of that stuff is right there, graphs. So that's so much convenient. Then other nice thing is that, for instance, I can, let's say I want to get this total sales we have. Okay, so this is the number here. So I can simply say total sales, and I can simply say equal to that number. It is there. But be careful. I mean, look at it. It does not say typical Excel thing. It's doing pivot table like this. Okay. The reason it's doing that is this. Now suppose I'm going to put some filters again, put some slicers. So click on that one, and that opens, and we can do analyze and insert slicers. Let's suppose we insert, let's say we insert product and group. Okay, there we are. Now let's see what happens now. Let's say I only want to get Apple sales total. When I click on Apple, everything will disappear, only Apple will remain there, which means this number is going to shift from here to up there. But it will change. Okay. Apples 4907. This cell is empty. So what Excel does is, when you click on that one, it does not go by the cell number. It goes by the pivot table. Pivot table started at $83, $83 right there. From there, it's units there. So let's suppose we can now choose multiple items, apples, and let's say grapes and Himalaya. It keep changing there. So that's another nice thing there, that you can use this one, and this can shift back and forth, and this will still remain the same, will not change. So that's another thing we can do with it. So pretty much that's just about it. You can do lots of things with it. For instance, you can do design changes. Let's hear the design here. You can make the table in a which way, you can make table like this way, right there, or that kind, this way. So we have all kinds of choices available here. And there are all report layouts. There's a report layout like that, or like this. We can decide to have subtotals, no subtotals, do not show subtotals. So if I suppose, let's say, I group them by let's say serial, let's say, group them by, let's say, there. So here we are. Cereal, fruits, we have subtotals. I can click here and say do not show subtotals. They're gone now. Show all subtotals. Okay. So this is pretty much what it is. So with this discussion, I want to stop our topic on pivot tables. Now your job is to basically play with it and see what you can get out of it.